Hi, Naked Author, Jason William Mitchiner Galbraith, greatest author of my generation, GAOMG. And what I mean by greatest author of my generation is utilizing all of the technology and resources of the 21st century that I've been able to use with my first book that I published in 2006. And I was told I can't be published by a big publisher like Random House. And I was able to find another way through print-on-demand technology. And it's pretty cool. It's been written about what I've done, like a lot of like old news articles and stuff. But if you read them, it's like talks about like the print-on-demand has been seen by like many aspiring authors as a blessing because we're able to get our books published now. But there isn't mass distribution or any marketing, and that all falls on me, the author. So I've utilized again all of the 21st century like social media, YouTube. You can see my clip when I first hit the scene on January 1st 2007. That's on YouTube, and I was promoting my first book. I took it to ABC right in Times Square, banged on the glass and everything. That was a pretty historic event the first time I hit that. And then to my first book of my trilogy, and what I've been able to do and tie in like my ancestors. I was able to use like 21st century technology to find out who my ancestors are. I never knew my Scottish heritage. I was born to parents that hated me from birth. So I was never told, who I am. And I was able to use modern 21st century DNA to find out that I'm a paternal descendant of Robert the Bruce, the greatest Scottish warrior and king Scotland has ever seen. And the fact that I'm able to take all of my information that I found out about my ancestors, and I wrote about it all, in my first trilogy. And I'm able to combine my ancestors that made me who I am today and connected me to my ancestor, Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. I'm able to write it all in my latest trilogy, my 10th book that I'm going to be promoting when I go to Scotland and bring it to everybody in Scotland and see how I'm received. I'm really looking at when I go to Scotland in 2026. I could go right now, but I don't want to go. The timing isn't right. I want to go when my book is totally done and I can march up the streets of the Royal Mile in my assless trews. And it's symbolism for everybody that was ever mean to me. They can kiss my royal ass. Now that I found out I'm a paternal descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. That was amazing. And it all came from finding out, my maternal Galbraith, my biological mother's ancestry, and finding out that I have an ancestral castle, that I'm also trying to raise $3 million and buy out the fake fruit family that lives in my ancestral castle. And everything that I write about and do, I incorporate into my story that I've told over 20 years while I'm writing stories, which again is just amazing, that I never knew who I was, and that what really compelled me to keep writing over 20 years when nobody believed in me. I've been made fun of by like everybody in the world, all on the internet, all that type of stuff. But it's my ancestors inside of me that I never even knew who I was, but they compelled me to keep writing all of my trilogies. And I mean, you can call it supernatural, you can call it divine destiny, you can call it, miracles. That I was able to connect, find out who I am with all of my ancestors, and have written about it before I knew who I was in my first trilogy, and then now being able to connect them all with my 10th book and my second trilogy. It's just really amazing what I've accomplished, and now I'm at a point in my life where I'm appreciating everything that I've done, and like I can't believe some of the things that have happened to me, you know, along the way. They've just been amazing, and things that I can't really explain other than supernatural miracles or divine destiny is what brought all of my books together, all of my ancestors together. I mean, I was walking the streets of Times Square with this flyer talking about my ancestors that I've written about in my books, all fought and suffered pursuing their dreams, just as I am doing now as I try to become the greatest author of my generation. And I wrote all that back in January 1st, 2007, when I promoted, you know, my first book on the streets of Times Square. And now I've been able to connect my first trilogy with my 10th book, second trilogy, all utilizing 21st century DNA. And the story is just amazing, and it's far bigger than anything that I thought when I first started writing my books. But again, something much bigger has driven me to keep writing all of my books and finding out who I am and utilizing all the 21st century technology, becoming the greatest author of my generation, and really being able to bring everybody my story over 20 years, as well as the stories that I write about while I was discovering, you know, who I am. So it's very amazing. And now I'm just going to go travel the world for a bit. And then in 2026, that's when I'm coming to Scotland. That's when I'm bringing my 10th book. And we'll see how Scotland receives me. Cheers.